A point had been touched on during the discussions, and that was an architect or an engineering consultant has to do a lot of work upfront when he does BIM modeling. Many times that's not feasible because the client has a different concept on how he pays. This is a real serious issue in terms of adoption of BIM. How do you see this clash? This is a major clash which needs to be sorted out.
I completely agree. We've actually gone back to clients with who started off with a contract based on the old form of working, where you have your where they have their expenditure towards you spread out over a period of 2 years, and you're asking them to crunch it into a very short time, probably a third of that, and either they're not prepared for it, and secondly, they're not sure if they're being forced into a corner to make a lot of decisions which otherwise they would have had time for. But we set up a series of workshops with them right up front to explain them and take them through various decision-making processes. And we were able to convince at least the 2 or 3 clients that we've worked with in this manner that there is a definite value add through that method of working.
How many didn't agree?
Actually, we've managed to convince them. These are the 3 new people we've brought on board. All of them have agreed. And there are a couple of people who agree to it, but are not familiar with that way of working and still stretch the process of making decisions, which is, again, inevitable. But at least you have a certain basis and you are able to prove to them what you've done at every stage to be able to sort of get paid for it.
I'll also try to add to it. If you really look at the benefit, okay, BIM graph, while what he spoke about, saying that whatever time they had budgeted for the project, they completed a couple of their project in 1/3 of the time. So that's a level where you kind of reached a stage where you have understood BIM. But when you start basically BIM, you might end up basically spending almost 30, 40, 50% more time. And that's the influx point where you start feeling that you're spending more time on BIM. But as you start basically going forward with the BIM process, as somebody spoke about in the past, that most of the buildings is manufactured today. As you start developing your standards on BIM, you will start realizing that as compared to your traditional process, maybe you are needing even 30, 40% less time to do the same task today because a lot of things are automated. Now, this will basically try to compensate you a little bit if your client does not want to change his payment structure. The hit that you are taking today is basically that learning curve which is formed today. Number 2 is education. The reason that we are trying to organize these type of platforms together is education. 2 of the major reasons, if you see, the contractor and the developer spoke about their objective is time and money. I'll tell you, sir, next time, whomsoever developer, are you an architect, sir? Okay. If you go to your client and if you say that I will give you all the GFC drawings right at the time when you are excavating, provided you clear all the instructions and approvals from you, okay, changes apart. If you basically commit him that I will give all the GFCs before you start the construction, I'll tell you, sir, there will be a slight response difference as compared to the resistance that you are facing today. And this is not yours. I have been kind of participating in such events in Delhi and Ahmedabad and Mumbai, and same problem everywhere. So, we have to kind of, somebody, was giving an example of titration we used to do in colleges. So they say that keep adding the chemicals, it will not change the color, but at some point of time it will definitely change. So, you are doing that effort which is not visible today, so keep doing it. Maybe at some point of time it will definitely show up.